Good morning, second grade, and welcome to math class. Today is Monday, October 26th, 2020. Again, here are 3 ways to write today's date. Last week, we talked about using doubles facts to help us solve addition problems. So to solve 6 plus 7, we can use a doubles fact of 6 plus 6, which equals 12. Now we know that 7 is 1 more than 6, so we need to add 1 to this 12, and we get the sum of 13. That means 6 plus 7 equals 13. We also talked about some other ways to remember facts. We can count on. So 5 plus 1 equals 6. So then I know 5 plus 2, there would be 1 more, so 7. 5 plus 3, 1 more than the last, so 8. Also, we learned that the order of addends does not change the sum. For example, 3 plus 4 equals what? 7 is the same thing as saying 7 equals 4 plus 3. Our addends right here, it doesn't matter if they are moved around. It still would have the same sum, which is our answer. Today we're moving to the next lesson, which is make a 10 to add. And our essential question, our EQ, is how is the make a 10 strategy used to find sums? So remember the word strategy? Strategies are different ways to help us solve something. So this is another way that we can use to help us add addends. Let's do the listen and draw section box on page 129 together. 129. Okay. There are 6 large dogs and 4 small dogs. How many dogs are there? Find the picture that looks like that. 6 large dogs, 4 small dogs. It's actually the second one. There are 6 red dots that represent the large dogs. 6. And 6 yellow counters that represent the smaller dogs. 6 plus 4. How many dogs are there? 10. All right, what about if there are 5 large dogs and 5 small dogs? Which picture shows that? That's right, this top one. 5 large plus 5 small. How many are there total? 10. Notice that this frame, this is called a 10 frame, there's 10 spots. So if it's filled, that means there are 10 counters. All right, what about if there are 9 dogs and 1 cat? Which one shows that? This bottom one. 9 plus 1. The 10 frame is filled. How many is there? 10. Take a moment to fill in the last 2. So count how many red counters. Count how many yellow counters. They fill the 10 frame, so together they have the sum of 10. Eight plus 2 equals 10. Now, sometimes we see the 10 frames like this when we have 2 of them. If you take out your pocket sleeve with the math paper that I gave you, you actually have a really small picture that looks like this. And I'm going to show you how you can use 2 of them together. So in the middle, I have 8 plus 4. So I'm going to move 8 red counters into this top part. And if you have different expo markers, you can use different colors, or you can use paper and pencil and crayons. Okay, so I have 8 red counters. My other addend is 4. So now I'm going to move 4 yellow down here. And just ignore these ones on the side. Those are just my extras. So I want to make a 10 to help me add. Making a 10 can help you to add quicker. So the way I'll do that is I'm going to move 2 of these yellow counters to that top 10 frame to fill it out completely, because if it's filled out completely, how many do I have? 10. So move these. And now what's my new addition sentence? 10 up top plus how many down below? The yellow down below. 2. 10 plus 2 equals 12. So now I know that 8 plus 4 equals 12. Because it's the same amount, we just moved them around. That can be explained on page 130 at the top. Now this is just explained in a different way. 7 plus 5 equals what? You need to add 3 to 7 to make a 10. Break apart 5 as 3 and 2. Okay, I'm going to show you this with the 10 frames. So we start with 7 in one 10 frame. And then we put 5 in the other 10 frame. Now we want to take these 3 yellow counters and move them up to help us make a 10. So I'm going to move, I'm going to move them up here, and then I'll cross them out to show that they're not down below. See how we took apart those 5 yellow counters, and now we have 3 right here and 2 right here. That's what this part is talking about. So now in this whole top section up here, we can see that we have 7 plus 3, and that fills our 10 frame, so we have 10. But we can't forget to add the 2 more yellow counters down below. And 10 plus 2 equals 12. So that means 7 plus 5, our original one, equals 12. Now in all of these example ones, there's no 10 frames drawn for you to use. If this image up here of the 10 frames helped you, take out your pocket sleeve, find the paper I gave you, or draw one yourself on your pocket sleeve and use that to help you solve. Pictures can be a really helpful thing. Let's look at number 1. 8 plus 3 equals what? 8 is closer to making a 10. So we want to take apart this 3 into 2 and 1. if we bring down this 8 and we add it to the 2, we get that 10. And we can't forget about our leftover 1. 10 plus 1 equals 11. But then I have to go back up here. So that means 8 plus 3 equals 11. Let's look at number 2. 2 plus 9. So even though 9 is our second addend, that number is closer to making a 10. So we want to give to the 9. We want to make a 10 so it's easier for us to add. So how many do we have to give to 9 for it to make 10? 1. So we'll take apart this 2 into 1 and 1. Then if we bring this 9 down, what's 1 plus 9? 10. And then don't forget about that other 1 over here. 10 plus 1 equals 11. So then we go back up here. That means 2 plus 9 equals the sum of 11. So on this page and the next page, there are more problems just like that, where you have to think which number is closer to making a 10. So like this one is. And then you'd have to take apart the other number into 2 numbers. And when you take apart that second number, the whole goal is for you to be able to add to the first number to make a 10. So how many do we need to add to 8 to make a 10? 2. So how many are left over? If we take away 2 from 5, here's 5, I take away 2. There are 3 left over, so that's our other number. And then you add your number that you started with, so 8 plus 2 equals 10, it's already written for us. And then let's add that 3. 10 plus 3, 13. See how 10 plus 3 is easier for us to solve than 8 plus 5? This is a strategy to help us add. So 8 plus 5 we now know equals 13. So you can use the rest of this page and the next page to practice this more. It'll take time and we'll just keep practicing it, okay? And remember, you can always come to office hours if you need help. So let's do one more with the pictures just to review it. So this is the number 16 on the last page of this lesson. There are 9 large bicycles at the store. There are 6 small bicycles at the store. How many bicycles are at the store? So let's write our number problem. 9 plus 6. And then I'm going to move the circles and you can draw it on your pocket sleeve or on your paper. So 9 in the first 10 frame. 6 in the next 10 frame. Now we can see that we only need to add 1 to get a 10. So that means this 6, we're going to take it apart into 1 and 5. And when we gave that 1 to the 9, how many then do we have? 10. And then we have 5 left over right here. So 10 plus 5 equals 15. That means our original number sentence 9 plus 6 equals as well 15. So how many bicycles are at the store? 15 bicycles. Okay, take your time, use the 10 frame picture to help you, and come to office hours if you have any questions. Thank you, second grade.